Hello again, and welcome back to Granny Dorothy Visits. Today's topic is Reconnect with Life, and the first reading from Wayne Dyer's Everyday Wisdom. Each place along the way is somewhere you had to be in order to be here. And the next reading is from Julia Cameron's Heart Steps. And the quote at the top of the page is from Rumi. No more words. Hear only the voice within. And this is called, The Universe is My Guide and Guard. The universe guides and guards its children. I listen and I hear true guidance, which moves me into loving expansion. I trust my guidance and I act on it faithfully. I move into new territories knowing the way is prepared for me. I walk in safety. My guidance leads me and I follow it with trust. And the last reading from Dr. Gladys, The Well-Lived Life. In my case, I found that my roles as mother and physician somehow supported each other. It was a different time when childcare wasn't inexpensive, but didn't break the bank either. At the time, plenty of people suggested that I was less of a mother because I worked, and plenty of male doctors, and even female nurses, seemed to think I was less of a doctor because I had so many kids. I just kept on doing what was true to me, getting juice from work and home equally. Coming home to my children's warm smiles gave me juice to go back to the office the next morning, and interacting with my patients renewed my juice to continue giving the kids all I had. Later, as my career expanded to speaking, writing, and bringing new ideas to people, I saw that instead of running out of juice, I seemed to get more and more of it. As with parenting, we can get juice from gardening, sports, outdoor pursuits, activism, artistry, or any number of other activities, even if they aren't our official jobs. In my generation, people had plenty of hobbies. Entertainment was an event that often took place outside of the home, so we had to come up with ways to entertain ourselves. Many of us cooked from scratch, worked on our homes and cars, gardened, wrote stories, sang and played musical instruments, or practiced crafts such as knitting, cross-stitching, and painting. Such activities are creative and connect us with our life force. It didn't matter how much whether we were so good or bad at what we did. The point was simply to enjoy doing it. I've noticed that through the decades, people have become less interested in such activities. Constant access to entertainment and devices makes it hard to pursue things that are challenging. With the pressure of modern life, it's often hard to see the value in pursuits that don't make money or immediately solve widespread problems. It's hard for many people to understand why they should do things just for the sake of doing them. I was heartened to see that during the COVID pandemic, younger generations began to pick up such activities again. Young people, and by that I mean anyone under 99, but especially those in their teens and 20s, need such activities to help release stress, because today's world is exposing us to every crisis that has ever occurred in real time. We're more aware than ever of societal imbalance, a lack of social justice, and the current and impending consequences of the way we're treating our planet. Seen from one angle, this is incredibly useful information. Seen from another, it's useful only if we use it. And if we don't, if we allow it to freeze us up and cut us off from doing anything that could bring us joy, we will lose touch with our own life force, making it even less likely that we'll be able to do anything to help. We're able to connect with life best when we get juice from multiple places. A puzzle piece doesn't just click in one side, it clicks in on 2, 3, or 4. What that looks like varies from person to person. As Anne at the beginning of this chapter learned, sometimes backing off from the things we love can shake our sense of identity, but it's sometimes the only way to bring ourselves back to balance. As we learn and grow, we come to realize that our juice has nothing to do with external definitions and everything to do with how we show up for our lives in the day-to-day. Anne's story also shows us that our sources of juice are meant to change over time. Usually this experience feels natural. We enjoy something for a while and then find something that catches our interest even more and move on. Life twists and turns. Our interests change and our physical abilities shift as we age. When life is truly flowing, what gives us juice evolves alongside us. Sometimes our struggle to get juice is exactly the thing that pushes us to find it somewhere else, such as a master electrician who was devastated when a disability forced him into early retirement, only to discover the restorative powers of gardening, or a film producer who threw herself fully into volunteering at a local shelter during the early days of the COVID pandemic. At the time, they thought that what was happening was a disaster. But when they look back on their lives, they see that life itself was calling them to keep looking for their juice, and that it was the second pursuit that kept them alive. The very fact that they were determined to find their juice, the inner calling, the desire within them, was how they reconnected with life. So true. I mean, we have to always find things that interest us and enjoy us, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. I mean, that's what we have to do to keep the juice flowing, to be active and creative and enjoy the life that God has given us. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.